I'm curious to know, like, because you've done work in Quebec, you've done work in English-speaking Canada, and you've done work in America. What really shocked you, or what like was a surprise about how those function in different ways?
I would say my experience in Quebec felt the most like a family and a circus. Like I used the word circus a couple times and realizing that was like very much the vibe. I love the crews of Vancouver, and I think I'm going to use the word pillaged. Vancouver has been such a hotspot for filming over the past few decades that this kind of sounds dark, but like their crews are being used. It's like the formulas here. Like, okay, the American show comes in and we do all of this work and we work crazy and we don't see our families and the hours are insane and it's cold and we're outside and then they just do it again and again and again and again and again. There's just like so many series that film in Vancouver. So that's like the vibe I get. And I just filmed there last year and I loved my crew so much, but I think it took a little more for them to warm up to me, because I think there's this mentality like you're just going to be gone next year, which is actually totally true. I know why. Because in Quebec, when I was working there, it was it was like your show was picked up for 3 years.
Really?
It wasn't like, oh, if your show goes, we have to wait to see if it does well, and then you get a second season. It was always, anything I filmed in Quebec was like, no, we're doing 3 years of this show. That's just like, and they do the same thing in the UK, right? Where they're like, no, we bought 3 years of this series, right? This is very common, but that's not true in Vancouver. So there is like this, like, I don't want to like open my heart here because I don't know how long I'm going to be in this with you.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what my take on it. And then in the States, here there's a ladder. In the US there's a ladder. So if you do if you're a sound man and you do Stick It, then now you have your resume and you're like, I did the sound on Stick It, and people are like, oh, okay, cool. So your next goal is to do the next rung. And same with acting. It's like, oh, okay, I did this. Now I'm going to do the next rung, whatever is a little more elevated than the last thing I did. That's the kind of form it takes here. Whereas in Canada, who cares? You're going to do what work comes your way.
Yeah.
You know, I did the sound on Schitt's Creek, and they're like, yeah, okay, cool. Now we're filming Holiday Miracle, and you're gonna do the sound on this. And like, okay, you know, and it's just, and that was true of me as an actress too. When I was from 7 to 15, like I literally will do whatever job comes my way. It's just that the ladder system isn't in place.
Yeah, well, I think that that kind of speaks to a big difference between Canadian content and American produced content, is that our industry is so reliant on government assistance and like funds and grants and stuff. And like I was looking on the Canada Media Fund's website, and any successful Canadian show like Kim's Convenience or Schitt's Creek or Working Moms or Cardinal, Being Erica, Baroness von Sketch Show, whatever, anything, it all has like millions of dollars of government assistance. And so I think because there's such a reliance on it, like Rachel said last week, the ceiling is only so high here. Like we wouldn't get like a Euphoria or a Station 11 or like a $100 million series. That speaks to why people end up leaving. I mean, money is an aspect of it too, but just kind of like that fulfillment of wanting to go to the next rung of the ladder it exists to a point here.
Yeah, it feels more lateral though. You're kind of, like you said, you're kind of moving kind of more lateral, and there's the occasional step up, but unless you're willing to hop on like a production from the States that's coming over to shoot here, which can like elevate you a little bit, but there's only so long that's ever going to run.